Welcome aboard. Stay tuned and subscribe to Han Li's Wuxia Adventures for more thrilling content. Chapter 2246. He looked around and saw that only one was bright and its brightness was just right for him. He didn't hesitate to merge with it. Was this the Central Flat Sea? The person that Lu Yin had merged with was currently at the bottom of the Central Flat Sea, but this wasn't the Central Flat Sea, but rather the Mortal Realm. The Central Flat Sea connected the Central Flat Sea to the Mortal Realm, and as the memories flooded in, Lu Yin realized that he was in the Mortal Realm's Central Flat Sea. The person that he had merged with was an island master of this region, known as Island Master Rong. Lu Yin had merged with someone else to check on the four-way scales handling of the Star Alliance, but Island Master Rong hadn't left this region for a very long time. He had no news of the outside world, so he couldn't get any information from the four-way scales. Just as Lu Yin was about to withdraw, he suddenly saw something new in Island Master Rong's memories. This person hadn't stayed in this region of the sea willingly, he had been forced to do so by the Lu family. Not only had the Lu family forced him, but they had also forced many envoys to enter the Central Flat Sea to protect the waterways that led directly to the mother tree's roots. When Lu Yin had accompanied Bai Weiwei to the Central Flat Sea, he had talked to Mr. Bai and learned that there were many creatures in the Central Flat Sea that could touch the mother tree's roots. This meant that the Central Flat Sea could lead directly to the mother tree's roots. If those creatures could touch them, then so could humans as long as they could find the path. Over the countless years since the birth of the cosmic tree, the Eternals had tried their best to contaminate the roots and find ways to get close to them. Humans had also tried their best to block these paths, and over time, 100,000 waterways had been formed. 100,000 waterways meant that there were 100,000 underwater paths that led directly to the mother tree's roots. The Lu family had built islands around each waterway, some large and some small, depending on the size of the waterway. The island that Island Master Rong was guarding was one of the largest. After all, his cultivation had reached 6 origin tribulations. There were 100,000 waterways that connected the Central Flat Sea and the Mortal Realm. Lu Yin hadn't known about this before, but from Island Master Rong's memories, he was surprised to find that no one else besides the Lu family knew about this. More accurately, no one had ever been able to locate the 100,000 waterways. This was because the Eternals had once sent a large number of redbacks to attack the waterways in an attempt to contaminate the mother tree's roots with their poison. The Lu family had gone to great lengths to stop the Eternals from attacking again. Furthermore, the Lu family knew that the Eternals were constantly researching poisons. Perhaps it was for the sake of the mother tree, so the Lu family had paid a huge price to set up a sourcebox array. Island Master Rong did not know the origin of this sourcebox array. All he knew was that after setting up the array, their 100,000 waterways had disappeared. They had not truly disappeared, but rather had been concealed by the sourcebox array so that no one could see them or approach them. The 100,000 waterways still existed, but no one could come into contact with them except for the Lu family. Even powerful organizations like the Frozen Immortal Sect and Divine Martial Planet believed that the 100,000 Water Tribe had perished together with the Redbacks who had attacked the Mother Tree's roots after the Lu family had finished setting up their sourcebox array. They had no idea that the 100,000 Water Tribe had simply hidden themselves. This was not a simple matter. Xian Academy did not nurture a pawn civilization, but the Seed Garden definitely had one, and so did the Lu family. These two families would not have it easy, and then there were the families and organizations with 6 or 7 tribulation ascendants. If the Four Directions balance really did this, it would cause a huge impact on the Cosmic Tree realm. However, this was a good thing. If Lu Yin took control of the Cosmic Tree realm, he would also release the pawn civilizations. How could humans raise humans in captivity? It was no different from raising animals in captivity. The people in the pawn civilizations were basically at the mercy of those families and sects, and it was too tragic. If the Four Directions balance really did this, it would be a good thing. Does your Seed Garden have a pawn civilization? Lu Yin asked casually. Nong Xingyang nodded. Yes, it's very large. There are countless people in one piece, and as long as their cultivation reaches a certain level, they can break free from the pawn civilizations and join my Seed Garden. They'll be treated the same as other cultivators, and our School of Agriculture isn't as cruel to them as the other families. Wasn't that cruel? Those people had cultivated with all their might and finally managed to break free from a low-level civilization. They had thought that they would enter a more perfect world, but when they came out, they found out that they would only become servants. The School of Agriculture believed that they treated them very well and were very fair, but this was only fairness in the context of the Cosmic Tree realm. It was a superficial fairness, but once one left the Cosmic Tree realm, one could see how pitiful those people were. Anyone from the Fifth Mainland who heard about the Pond civilizations would understand this, but the School of Agriculture did not. This Pond civilization was a tumor of the cosmic tree realm, and Luin hoped that the Four Directions balance could do something good and remove this tumor. Not long after, Luin finished unlocking the source box and obtained a weapon. It could be considered a power vessel, but it did not have much power. It had been too long and it had long since decayed. Nong Xinyang broke it with a single touch and it was completely useless. Nong Xinyang was not disappointed. "Sir, there are only a dozen or so days left before the training begins. Mr. Tang has been helping us during this time. When will you be going?" "Let's wait a few more days," Luin replied. She did not disturb him and left. 2 more days passed and Wu Tai-bai came over. He said that it was a pity that he would not be able to lead the team with Luin, but he did not complain about Lu Quebec. Mr. Zheng also came over once to remind Luin to protect Yixian Academy's reputation. After all, this was the first time that the academy had come into direct contact with the Four Directions balance after the Lu family had been exiled. The academy's top geniuses belonged to the Four Directions balance, and they could not possibly side with the academy. The students who truly belonged to the academy could not compare to them. A few more days passed and soon 10 days were up. Luin returned to his room and raised his hand. His die appeared and he continued. He tapped on it and his luck was quite good as he immediately got 6 pips. His consciousness instantly entered that dark space and he looked around. There was only one bright ball of light around him, and it was even brighter than the Corpse King's. Luin was tempted when he saw this ball of light. It would be difficult for him to fuse with it, but it also meant that the person fusing with it was at least a 7th tribulation origin cultivator. If it was a cultivator from the cosmic tree realm, then they would be at the peak of humanity, second only to progenitors and half-ancestors. This was very attractive to Luin. Wang Xiaofan frowned. "Don't talk nonsense." Bai Weiwei chuckled. "Don't pretend. We've known each other since we were young. You mentioned her a lot, but you didn't mention it when you grew up. Now you don't even dare to admit it?" Wang Xiaofan stared at Bai Weiwei. "I told you don't talk nonsense." On the other side, Nong Xinyang exclaimed, "I actually saw Miao Xianzi. I thought that the Wang family would keep her under house arrest." "What happened to her?" Luin asked. Nong Xinyang was puzzled. "Sir, you don't know?" Luin replied, "I'm not interested in matters outside of Yuqing." Nong Xinyang pursed her lips. Miao Xianzi was the Wang family's most outstanding disciple 100 years ago. Although she wasn't a direct descendant, she surpassed them and had a similar status as Wang Su in the Wang family. She's from a branch family, but because she was close to the Lu family, she was put under house arrest. It said that after the Lu family was exiled, she scolded the Wang family's ancestor, Wang Fan. Luin was shocked. She scolded Wang Fan? Is that true? Nong Xinyang shook her head. "I don't know. That's what the rumors say, but I don't know if it's true or not. In any case, she was put under house arrest after that day and never came out. I didn't expect that she would be sent out to welcome us today." Luin turned around. Regardless of whether it was true or not, Miao Xianzi must have done something to cause her to be put under house arrest. If she had really scolded Wang Fan, then she was a ruthless character who dared to do anything. Dean Wen had previously exclaimed that Luin had been rude to Xia Ziheng. If this woman had really scolded Wang Fan, then her courage was 1,000,000 times greater than his. The ship that the Wang clan sent to welcome Yixian Academy was a large ship that was folded out of white paper. After everyone boarded the boat, Wang Miaomiao told everyone about the Wang family's training grounds, the Third Despair. "Sanei despairs?" Nong Xinyang exclaimed. Bai Weiwei, Xia Xingguang and Wang Xiaofan were all shocked. Even the culinary god was shocked. Third Despair? The Wang family is actually willing to open the Third Despair for their students? Wang Miaomiao smiled. "That's right. As long as you have the ability, you can challenge the Third Despair together. I suggest that you go one by one to obtain the greatest benefits." Mr. Tang exclaimed, "The Wang family is really going all out this time. They're even willing to open the Third Despair." Luin did not understand, but he did not ask. Mr. Wei's voice rang out. "It's rumored that the Third Despair is something that every Wang family disciple, regardless of whether they are direct descendants or collateral descendants, will experience. There are battle techniques, resources and training qualifications hidden within. The lower despair contains treasures that can allow cultivators below the explorer realm to protect themselves. There are also battle techniques, but they are not considered top-notch. At the upper despair, Those with the ability can obtain the Wang family's famed meditative oblivion technique and training qualifications. As for the top-notch Taya Despair, not only are there battle techniques and techniques, there are also secret techniques, tribulation crystals, and training qualifications. Every Wang family disciple's dream is to enter the third despair. Mr. Tang continued, it's rumored that Fairy Miao was able to suppress the direct descendants of her generation by relying on the opportunities she obtained in the third despair. The meditative oblivion technique and secret techniques did not lose out to the direct descendants of the Wang family at all. In the end, she even surpassed the direct descendants. The third despair is the Wang family's best opportunity for the collateral descendants to surpass the direct descendants, but I've never heard of it being open to the public. Human history had developed over a long period of time, and there were countless achievements that seemed possible but were impossible to achieve. The Realm Beyond Heaven trial was one of them. Since its appearance, countless people had attempted it. Although the results were different, there was one result that remained constant. No one had completed it. The years were long and countless eras had changed, but in most people's impression, no one had been able to complete the Realm Beyond Heaven trial. Baixianer had appeared in this era, so she had become a legend. Baixianer had broken through to the emissary realm and attracted the eternal race's murderous intent, causing the progenitor realm to descend. Therefore she had become an unattainable existence in this era. She was close to a god. At this moment, Lu Yin had completed the Realm Beyond Heaven trial, causing the cold immortal sect to fall silent. Whether it was the elders or the disciples, even the half-ancestor Wu Yao and the culinary god, all looked at Lu Yin in silence. Bai Su was the first to react. He immediately ordered the sect to be sealed. No one was allowed to leave, and no one was allowed to communicate with the outside world. He wanted to seal the news of Yu Hao's completion of the Realm Beyond Heaven trial in the cold immortal sect. This child must not wander outside. He must be a member of the cold immortal sect. He represented the next progenitor realm. Suddenly he remembered that this person was a matrix master in Jiyuan, and there was also Gu Yan behind him. If that was the case, he was not just the next progenitor, he might even be the next youngest celestial master of primordial arrays. He was a genius who had both the progenitor and the celestial master of primordial arrays. A genius who could catch up to Baixianer. Thinking of this, here Baisu quickly woke Wu Yao up. It was not that Wu Yao's mental strength was not as strong as Baisu's, but as a half-ancestor, he knew better what it meant for Lu Yin to ascend the clouds. He now looked at Lu Yin as if he was a progenitor realm powerhouse. After being awakened by Baisu, the first thing he did was to seal the cold immortal sect. Unfortunately, they were still a step too late. The lower the cultivation of a disciple, the less knowledge they had of the Realm Beyond Heaven trial, and the faster they woke up. After Lu Yin ascended the clouds, a Melder disciple who had just joined the cold immortal sect spread the news. The four scales each had their own spies, and even the seedling garden, the Lu family and Gui Yuan, who had been hiding all this time, all had spies in the cold immortal sect. When Yu Hao completed the Realm Beyond Heaven trial, the entire cosmic tree realm exploded. The first to receive the news was the Wang family, and it was the Melder who had spread the news. Half-ancestor Chai suddenly appeared in front of Wang Yan, scaring him so much that his expression changed. He was rather displeased. "Senior Chai, this is my private residence. You've gone too far by coming here." With his status as an array master in Jiyuan, he did not need to worry about half-ancestor Chai's status. Half-ancestor Chai anxiously asked, "Has the family contacted Yu Hao? Or did they discuss any conditions?" Wang Yan's brows rose. "Why do you ask?" Half-ancestor Chai was anxious. "If not, then hurry up and contact the ancestor and think of a way to rope in this Yu Hao. We have to rope him in. He just completed the cold immortal sect's Realm Beyond Heaven trial. Wang Yin did not react at first, but then he remembered and was shocked. The Realm Beyond Heaven trial? The trial to become an immortal beyond immortal? Half-Ancestor Chai replied, "That's right. That's why I'm asking if you've contacted the ancestor to rope in you, how and what conditions you've proposed. I need to quickly speak with the ancestor and discuss how to rope him in." Wang Yin was still in shock. Welcome aboard. Stay tuned and subscribe to Han Li's Wuxia Adventures for more thrilling content. Chapter 2279. Wu Yao's gaze was sinister, and he had a strange smile on his face as he looked at Xia Ziheng. How can the frozen immortal sect not show up? Xia Ziheng frowned. The Xia family didn't invite you. They invited the sect master of the frozen immortal sect. Even if someone came, it should be Baisu. Aha, it's the same no matter who comes. Another voice rang out. It was the Wang family's half-ancestor Chai. After Lu Yin completed the Realm Beyond Heaven trial, the frozen immortal sect and the Xia family weren't the only ones vying for him. The Wang family and the White Dragon clan were also vying for him. Xia Ziheng's heart sank. Half-ancestors had arrived one after another to monitor the Xia family. Unless an ancestor came, nothing could be hidden from them. These fellows were really troublesome. The food god suddenly looked in a certain direction, his eyes filled with killing intent. The newcomer was Sir Yu. Sir Yu's appearance surprised Lu Yin. After all, Sir Yu's enmity with the food god was too deep. Sir Yu's arrival would only harm Lu Yin by persuading him to join the White Dragon clan. Xia Ziheng was astonished when he saw Sir Yu. "You're the half-ancestor that the White Dragon clan has been hiding?" Sir Yu smiled. "I like to go into seclusion. Perhaps that's why everyone misunderstood." Wu Yao put on a fake smile. "Sir Yu, I know who you are. Aren't you afraid that the food god will kill you?" Half-Ancestor Chai added, "I remember now. So it's you. You're ruthless enough to show up." Sir Yu's smile was natural, even when he was facing the food god. "I had a fair chance to fight with Master, so he won't do anything to me. Right, Master?" The food god looked deeply at Sir Yu. "You won't live for long. It's my honor to die at Master's hands." He then looked at Lu Yin. "Mr. Hao Yu, are you interested in joining the White Dragon clan? The Dragon Ancestor has said that if you become his disciple, you can use all the resources of the White Dragon clan as you wish." "Sir Yu, this is Shenwu Heaven," Xia Ziheng shouted. Sir Yu didn't mind, and he smiled at Lu Yin once more. "Mr. Hao Yu, my Wang clan sincerely invites you to join us. Compared to the Divine Martial Heaven, my Wang clan is much better." "I'm afraid that I'll trip on my feet just by walking here," said Half-Ancestor Chai. Xia Ziheng was furious. "Hao Yu is the son-in-law of the Divine Martial Plane and he'll only stay there. Don't waste your time." He then led the group from Memory Virtue Academy into the Divine Martial Plane. Originally, the main focus of Yi Xian Academy's training exercise should have been the students. This training exercise was supposed to be a process where the four balance scales would divide up the students and allocate the slots for the Mountain Sea realm. However, because of Lu Yin's repeated outbursts and astonishing actions, everyone's attention was now focused on him. They no longer cared about the students. This was especially true for the White Dragon tribe, as they knew that it was impossible for them to obtain those students. "Young Master, you continuously offered all sorts of conditions to try and rope in Lu Yin, completely ignoring the fact that Xia Ziheng was nearby. Even Half-Ancestor Chai and Wu Yao were pretending to try and rope in Lu Yin. Xia Ziheng wanted nothing more than to activate his sourcebox array and throw all of these people out of Shenwu Plain. He was not confident that he could keep Yu Hao here, as it was normal for cultivators to be emotionless. Could Yu Chuan really keep Yu Hao here? He was not confident either, especially since the conditions that these fellows were offering were too generous. Especially young Master Yu, who had even said that the Dragon Ancestor wanted to take in a disciple.